Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Thank you very much for watching our video. So we have a tendency to oversimplify in the NFL and say that storylines are simpler than they probably are. So I don't want to oversimplify things, but I do think that one of the major movements in 2021 in the NFL has been defenses coming up with a way to deal with the high-octane offenses that have been basically torturing them over the past few years, and that is to play back. And we did a video to this effect about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs just a few weeks ago. We'll link to that here. But I think it's pretty clear, and we're going to show you on film that it's not just the Chiefs that defenses are doing this to. We thought we would talk about what defenses are doing, and maybe even a little more, how offenses need to respond. Well, defenses are absolutely doing this to Josh Allen and the Bills. This play was a 3rd and 18 on Buffalo's first drive of Week 11. You're on the Colts 43. The prudent play here would be, okay, I see the two safeties high. Let's check it to Zach Moss, who we will see open out of the left slot. But what happens when you're impatient? Oh, buddy. Now, I know Josh Allen expects Gabriel Davis to fight for inside position in the tightest of windows, but if we freeze it just as the ball is released, you'll see the corner in cover 2 is not responsible for the deep ball. He's got underneath. The deep safety has nobody else to look at, so the play's right in front of him. Even if Davis does fight to the inside, that's real unlikely to be a completion. The Cardinals didn't do this all day to Seattle in Week 11 because they are primarily a single safety high defense, but when they did do it, it's like maybe it broke Russell Wilson's brain. This won't be cover 2 exactly. You'll see the two safeties split, right? As soon as they see two go routes from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, both of the safeties who had moved up, I guess, sort of turn around and run and sprint. The effect is largely the same. The part of the field where Wilson would like to throw is now flooded with defensive backs. That's the premise of playing back. And it's to Metcalf's credit that he almost actually catches this. I think we'd agree, even if this isn't pure cover 2, it is playing back, and he's not open. And yep, the Chiefs themselves, they had a good offensive first quarter when the Cowboys tried playing their usual single safety looks, but Dallas adapted. Now, again, I'm not going to say cover 2, I'm going to say two safeties high, because that's where they begin the play, though at the snap, one safety will run up in almost a robber position, and the other was going to run back. I mean, call it two-man. You could call it some kind of adaptive, very deep cover 3, but watch what Mahomes sees when he hits his back foot on a 3rd and long. Nobody but the guys in the flat are open, and since it is 3rd and long, he doesn't want to take those. He winds up scrambling around and throwing it incomplete. So, I'm not going to show you 100 examples of this. In fact, Dave Hewitt did a really good job describing how this works in that Mahomes video that I referred to earlier. So accept that is a given. Accept that defenses, not always, but a lot of the time, especially against high-octane offenses, are playing back and deciding to let you go slowly down the field if you can and test your patience, and that if you can't, you're not going to score points. And a lot of offenses are winding up being pretty stuck in the mud when faced with this kind of defense. But meanwhile, here come the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had enough of Jalen Hurts throwing it all over the yard in September and have become a powerhouse running the ball. The theory behind the Saints' defense, among others, is to do exactly what we've been saying. We bet you can't be patient. We bet you're not going to consistently run it against us. Well, buddy, Jordan Howard would like to say hello. This is math, right? This is 5 blockers for 4 defenders. 2 offensive linemen pull, and it's an open lane, and Howard could drive a bus through that open lane. It's an 18-yard gain. Very next play, watch with the two safeties back. Watch how the read option look absolutely freezes defensive end Jalen Holmes, and there just aren't enough bodies to go get Jordan Howard. Don't get me wrong, the Saints have played this kind of defense all year, two safeties back, playing back. Nobody really had run on them all that much, and that's going to kind of wind up being most of my point in this video. The teams that can do this, what we're showing you that the Eagles can do and take advantage when a defense plays back, suddenly they've got something of an advantage. Another defense that wants to play coverage, rely on good personnel in the front 7, and otherwise just make you methodically move down the field, The Rams, they play a lot of two deep, a lot of playing back. And a couple of weeks ago, you might remember the 49ers taking them behind the woodshed and, rendering a little frontier justice. Suddenly, San Francisco's attack, no matter who's playing running back, and they got about 8 of them, seems like it actually can follow through on what the defense is daring them to do. Put together long drives that eat clock and result in touchdowns. The Chargers, they're another defense who likes to defend this way. Not every play. They certainly make adjustments. We're trying to not overgeneralize the entire league, but their general philosophy has been bend but don't break. If you can run on us all day, we'll mostly let you. And by winning a game on the road where their quarterback didn't play particularly well, the Patriots proved, okay, if you're going to let us, we can do it, and we can beat you that way. All right, we'll come back in a minute, and we'll have a look at how some offenses are dealing with everything that's going on from these defenses. Hey, let's thank DraftKings for sponsoring today. This Thanksgiving, be thankful for family food and free bets. DraftKings Sportsbook has a promotion for new customers. Bet $1 on any team playing in Thursday's games to score a single point, and when they do, you'll win $100 in free bets from DraftKings. Now, if Sportsbook isn't available yet in your state, you can also play DFS and potentially win millions. And if you do live in one of the Magic States and you can play Sportsbook, you've thought about maybe finding a place where you can play the games, this is a really good promotion. Bet $1 on any team playing on Thanksgiving to score a single point and win $100 in free bets. In all cases, go to DraftKings.com or download the DraftKings app, and when you sign up, use the code HarrisTube. That's code HarrisTube when you sign up to get these great promotions from DraftKings. Okay, so it's only natural, right? Defenses are playing nickel and dime. They're playing light boxes. This play starts out looking like cover one, but watch number 42 here, Andrew Zentejo. He'll drop out looking to get as deep as the deepest. He's certainly not involved when it becomes a running play to the left. So this is perfect. This is what we just showed you before. Get a hat on a hat and run the ball, right? Devin Singletary should have a nice gain. If we watch the end zone view of this play, the problem winds up being the Bills aren't very good at this. They're not built to be a run team. This outside zone, you'll see the center and the left guard, they get shoved back into Devin Singletary's path, and the right guard, number 74, he's not athletic enough to go get number 58 of the Colts, and there goes 58, and that is stuffed. The Titans are trailing big here. It's the second half. Obviously, they don't have Derrick Henry anymore. They also don't have A.J. Brown or Julio Jones. The Texans know it, but they play back. And Ryan Tannehill says, all right, well, I know what my checks are when you guys are all way back there. We got to be able to run against this defense, right? And it turns out when you don't have Derrick Henry and you do have an ossifying Adrian Peterson, well, the answer is no, you can't run against this defense. The Steelers, those powerful Steelers, ground and pound. Plus, they're going up against the Chargers, one of the main purveyors of playing back on defense. Surely the Steelers can look at this defensive alignment and go get them. This was the first play of Sunday night's game in Week 11, and it's a 1-yard gain. These are very much not your daddy's Pittsburgh Steelers. If we flip it around and watch it from the end zone, watch the left guard and the center double team number 96 in the middle. If you can stuff that guy and the extra guys are playing way back, that's how great run games of yore happened. That's what you're supposed to do here. And instead, these two bozos can't block one guy, and it's a total stuff for 1 yard. My point isn't that you have to be able to run the ball or you can't win. But my point is that this season, eventually you're going to run into one of these defenses that will do this to you, try this on you, especially if you're one of the high-octane pass offenses that's used to being able to march up and down the field with deep over routes and all those crossers that work against single high safety looks. You don't have to run, but you got to figure something out, or you're probably not going to last very long in the playoffs just trying to do what you do on offense. Okay, so if it's not running, how else will teams attack when defenses try this very old trick of playing back? Well, you can send a whole bunch of vertical routes to put strains on the zone. Here, Tampa is 2nd and 7. It'll wind up being pure cover 2 with a robber safety standing in the middle of the field and 4 vertical routes along with an underneath route by Chris Godwin. And Brady actually seems to want Godwin, but he gets good enough protection that the safeties have to choose. Who are they going to go to? Oh my goodness, this play is taking a long time. There are too many receivers, too spread out across the field, and therefore Jalen Darden is wide open. Here's a variation on the same idea. Colts beating the Texans, 2 safeties back. You can bet a lot of the time the Colts will run against this formation, and very successfully, because they got a good line and they got Jonathan Taylor. Here they go play action and send 2 receivers to the same quadrant of the defense. Michael Pittman runs a post, and Mo Alley-Cox runs a corner. And this combination, again, if the quarterback gets time, puts this safety in a difficult position. Here the safety leans toward Pittman, and Alley-Cox catches it and scores. We talk a lot on the podcast about the turkey hole, which is the spot where the corner passes off a receiver up the sideline to a safety, but the safety can't get there in time. In this case, it's Mike Williams who gets covered in the flat, but then because it's cover 2 zone, he gets passed off so the corner can be there, shallow, in case something else develops in that zone. It can very much get your wideout drilled by the safety when he does get there, but again, with a clean pocket, that throw is often there against cover 2. And then the classic route combination with a clear out from the slot, and underneath it comes the deep dig, basically trying to kind of stretch the zone and then fill the vacated space with a receiver. But you've seen all this, right? This is the football we grew up with. These over-the-middle shots into tight windows. I mean, they're dangerous, right? They get receivers hit. They're difficult to execute, but they should generally be there against defenses that are playing back. In fact, to conquer this very old new trend, offenses are going to have to be flexible and be willing to take what defenses playing back will give them. That means staying ahead of the sticks. It means being able to throw flat passes to running backs. It means manufacturing a lot of noise on one side with a bunch of guys in formation and then throwing tight end screens back to the other. And, of course, it can mean, if you can do it, taking a look at the safeties being back like they are here, just this past week, Lions-Browns, and just jamming it down the defense's throat with the run. I think what we're honestly learning in 2021 is that there are some defenses that you're going to meet in the playoffs that are going to make you do both things. You certainly are going to have to throw to win eventually. I think teams that can only run have a limited shelf life as well. But I think 2021 has taught us over and over and over again with all these surprising results and all these high-octane offenses that suddenly sputter in situations where we don't expect it. Man, if you can't take the dare when they're daring you to go slowly down the field and make a bunch of smaller plays rather than a couple of long plays, boy, I don't know. I think this year, that's going to be a problem. We'd like to know what you think. We really appreciate you watching. Let us know down in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.